Hello everyone, today we are discussing The Couple Next Door Season 2. And Season 1 was completely different cast, was completely different script, and you can you can watch the show like completely only in the context of Season 2. You don't need to rewatch Season 1 if you don't want. You will not miss anything. So let's start to talk about this season. And the main point of the Couple Next Door franchise is to show you how two people will end up with complete strangers or with just, their coworkers in the situation when they are intimate and sharing the closest people they ever had. And in this situation, the main character, Charlotte. She is a surgeon and she's working at hospital with her husband. And together they starting this TV show, appearing at this dinner, and they just hosting this couple. And this couple is basically they're like friends, but not only friends. One of those is their coworker, but they are not gonna be those people who is who is gonna spoil this family. There is another character who is gonna be that you know love triangle for them. And Charlotte, she is basically she is like considered to be a real business woman. She is like busy to the point that she is really just scheduling her sex with her husband. She's doing everything, like in the most British conservative way. I would say she's like successful surgeon and like really respected in her area. And her husband, he is basically working at the same hospital, but he is not like surgeon, but he's helping during operations, and he is of course so close, not only at home, but they are working like together, and they are not like really separating personal life and work life. So this is why probably they are trying to put in things like career and like all that stuff in the first place. They are trying to like prioritize more their work rather than the marriage itself. They are trying to schedule all the intimacy. They are trying to be at least they are trying to appear as a really loving couple, that they are those, but it turns out that it really takes just one beautiful person, like 30 years old or something like this, and to come and to really release all that like reality that this family hiding behind all those appearances, and that they are like happy together, but they are really like struggling in a lot of areas. So Mia is that woman who arrives from Norwegia, if I remember correctly. She is Norwegian, and once she arrives, she is like so straightforward, and compared to Charlotte's personality, she is too much of a forward person. She is really just telling everything she thinks, and she is like less of a conservative character in this like TV show. She's that woman. She's that, desire of this couple, and not only of this couple, but she is the trigger for every love triangles in this TV show. She is the main point, I would say, of the couple next door concept itself, because the concept of the couple next door is to bring a third party into already existing marriage or relationship, and to show how that marriage suffering from not prioritizing their intimacy, their privacy, and not separating really personal life and your career, your work life. But you think probably that you are separating those two things, but in reality, you can only understand if you do that, if you put someone who is really separating. Because Mia, she is single. She doesn't even have to separate anything. Because completely free to do whatever she wants. Basically, she can go to learn new things in England. And once she arrives, she's hitting on so obviously on Charlotte. And her intentions at first seems not so clear, because she's pretty suspicious character, I would say. She's hiding a lot of stuff from her past, and she is renting the house next to Charlotte's. She is moving into that house, which is gonna put the concept of the next of the couple next door TV show at work, because this concept only works if you have two neighbors, two houses close to each other, and one person is so striving to get to know what's happening in that other house, in that marriage, and one person is always gonna be more spirited, free-spirited, and more thriving for something new. And Jacob, Charlotte's husband, basically is way more impressed by Mia's moving into the house next to them, because they were basically not expecting her moving into that house, because any nurse at that hospital basically cannot afford that type of a renting, because it's way too expensive for nurses salary, obviously. And they are suspecting that she's hiding something, because she's definitely getting some money that is obviously not the salary of nurse, because we can see that she has loads of money, but we don't know exactly what she's getting to get this money, what she's getting as another work, or is she blackmailing people, or is she really just doing something criminal? So there is a lot of secrets at the beginning, and she's getting a lot of flashbacks, and all her memories, they are so blurred. We cannot see anything distinct about what those memories are about, what they are supposed to mean. Like, we only see her like getting those flashbacks, but they all seem to be so random. Like, but it's definitely something even more suspicious, since she is using only old-fashioned phones. She's not like, using any modern techs, and she's like definitely using this because of her, discreet life. She's trying to cover basically her identity or something like this. And this huge secret putting like some questions for viewers to answer. And of course, in The Couple Next Door, the concept of season 1 was when two couples were getting close to each other and exploring each other's sexual life in a way that, or like, one couple was always like, trying to like show that everything is okay about that aspect of their life, like the sexual life, the like work life, everything is perfect. And once like you put that third party, it turns out that everything is just so bad. And Mia is going to be that person who is exploring this marriage. She is putting her efforts directly into this couple. And her intentions, of course, not so clear, because it seems like she is looking for her own benefits. It's like she is benefiting from, love triangles, or she's benefiting from like getting people divorced or something like this. So you can just think about it, a lot of things about your intentions, but actually she's like showing a lot of passion for this activity because she's actually attracted so much to Charlotte, and it's becoming obvious that Charlotte is attracting as well. She's attracted to Mia. And Jacob, of course, Jacob found himself in the middle of this two beautiful women, and he's kind of out of choice, and he's just preferring to stay, because who wouldn't? Like, if you caught yourself in the middle of this triangle, you would stay probably as well. So he has no choice actually, just to stay and to see what happened next. And Charlotte is trying to set boundaries because she is her boss. It's obviously is gonna be a problem at work, because if you like hanging out with your workers, is gonna be like no boundaries at work as well. And it's gonna be, losing your concentration. And as a surgeon, you need that concentration full time. So there is no way you can just let this go like this. But they actually did let go this relationship. And in the first scene, when they were so close at this club, they actually just flirting or something like this. But Mia seems to be so intense, and she's actually like so extremely trying to get this marriage like spoiled. And once she sees like Charlotte and her husband Jacob, they are like of course drunk and trying to hook up in this car, and they are so aware that she is sitting next to them, but they do not express any like like they do not really mind your presence while they're doing their activity. This is like obviously something they're so into, but when you're drunk, you can just give someone the wrong impression. You can just really make someone misread your intentions. They were just, probably so drunk at first, but when they were at work after that night, they seem obviously still not so concentrating on work, but on that situation when they were the three of them. And Mia actually turned out to be even more suspicious when we found out that she's using VPN on every internet use or any activity online. And it turns out that her identity is not even Mia. She is like going under disguise, but her actual name is Kasia, and she is Polish. And we see her real identity, that she is from Poland, and he is 20. She is 32 years old or something like this, and her getting blackmailed is obviously just putting way more like, way more like on her, that she's definitely doing something wrong. Like she's definitely not so like clear about her intentions, because she like representing herself as just going to this hospital and find your way in this like career, and England seems to be a good opportunity for her, but we see that she's not really like prioritizing her career, but she is more into that messing with marriages of others. She is really just into that. And she was really like pissed off when one of the patients broke boundaries and he actually just touched Mia, and that shit triggered her to the point that she resorted to just let him die. Basically, this is like in this area, if you work as a surgeon or as a nurse, it is your first priority to see if patient okay or not. And she just let him die, and she felt really relieved as that person like basically touched her, and she's basically getting something as flashbacks from her past, because she probably was in a really bad situation in her childhood, and this is what all her flashbacks trying to like tell, not so obviously and not so like distinctly, but we can see that she is a lot of trauma. She has loads of trauma, and this way like she's getting retaliation on people who broke her privacy and who just intervene her boundaries. And at the same time, there is a man who is like acquaintance of Charlotte's, and he is some kind of her first love or her prior partner before her husband Jacob, and she didn't choose him because of the unknown future with this man. He wasn't really that rich at that point, and now he is like kind of a successful man who is even investing in this hospital or something. Like he is trying to at the same time take care of his father, who is like getting treated in this hospital, and at the same time he's putting some money in this hospital to like build something. And she sees like him only as an old friend and nothing else. But at the same time, we see how they question their own marriage, because when some people from your past arriving and it appears that now that person is way more successful than you are, you start questioning your life, if you did something wrong, if you just didn't take the opportunity that that other person took, or if you can make something different now. So this new arrival of that old friend and Mia's arrival as well make this marriage just, wavering. This marriage is not in a good state right now. And at first events after Mia's arrival, she expressed a lot of support to Charlotte, not only in terms of her struggling in relationship, but all this also is in her confidence in general as a woman. She is like so reserved. She's trying to like pretend someone she's not, and she's trying to do all those appearances just to show like how a woman working at hospitals should behave. And Mia is completely opposite from that character. She's trying to let Charlotte go and do whatever she wants. She is putting some type of game when Charlotte can say whatever she wants to any random person, and this way she can free herself from that reserved business woman. And not only this, but they become really close at this evening, and later on they just developing crush on each other. And Mia seems like into this marriage for some secret intentions which we don't know still. And since she is younger, she has more power to make this work, because she will not lose anything. She has nothing to lose, but she can be like the point of breaking up this marriage. She can be that home wrecker basically. And Charlotte realizes that she cannot be herself in presence of her coworkers basically, because they all seem to be so reserved and so like pretending to be like those like business dinosaurs, and not letting any emotions, but just talking constantly about work only. And even her husband just putting her down when she was trying to flirt with him, as that was a part of Mia's game. She was trying to make Charlotte like just go and show what you feel about your husband in presence, in front of all the workers, in front of all the colleagues. You can just do whatever you want. Don't be like that, just go and do that. And after they just got a little more drunk, they starting to get actually advantage of this situation, because now like not so much focus on you, but you can actually just be way more open. And Mia's intentions still not clear, but she seems like so like put together and well thought out character. She actually understands what she's doing. She's like properly prepared all her steps in terms of how to put them together and how to put herself into this triangle. She's not doing this out of desperation or something. She seems to be really enjoying this. This is what makes it so, like, impressive, because she's not doing this out of lack of partners, or she's not trying to, getting just one night with these people. She's really into this type of relationship, or she's really like kind of so confident in her personality that she can do this type of things, like, and basically she's getting what she wants, because after that party they got into, like, they got Jacob's and Charlotte's place, and basically she passed out, and of course Mia's used this opportunity with Jacob, like, to full extent. They just spent that night, and she seems to be so, like, really, like, fulfilled in terms of her ambitions. She's getting this people doing what she wants. She's getting them basically, like, neglecting their marriage, neglecting their, their love. But she probably did that because in the first place she saw that there is something to start with, there is something to work with. If she didn't see that in this couple, basically she wouldn't do something like this. I mean, like, if someone is doing something like this, and if you already have your partner and someone is interfering like this, basically it's because you just shown that it's possible for that person to go and put himself or herself into your relationship. If you express complete confidence in your happiness in your relationship, nobody would ever put himself into your relationship. It's just you showing wavering feelings. You're showing, like, that it can be possible. This is all she needs. And she's getting close at work with Jacob and Mia as well, but she's trying to kind of do that separately. She's not like going and talking to them at the same time. She's trying to, like, flirting with both of them and keep that night as a secret. And her basically coworkers who never let themselves do what she did just said that she wasn't really a good example. She wasn't really, behaving good, and this is not a good for her status as, like, consultant surgeon or something like this. And she is, of course, like, tired of this shit, because I don't think that anyone but, like, people in this area who is doing a lot of surgeries, who is working with human life, who is working with, like, directly with someone's life, who is just, putting a lot of pressure on his shoulders, that person needs even way more activities like this in the first place. I don't think that she's doing anything wrong, but it's just because your environment taught her to be like that. Your, the people that she's surrounded by is just not used to this, and they seem to be so boring in terms of like what like personal life and what work life supposed to be, and they like completely not understanding how it's supposed to happen, like that you hanging out with your coworker, or if you just openly like dancing with another woman which is your coworker. So this is like so familiar. Almost every TV show somehow like showcasing that type of reserved character who is trying to let everything go and just be someone he's supposed to be. And Mia's role in this TV show is so obvious again. And now they can see even her character in other people, because they're so fixated right now on her role in their lives, and they actually can just mess her with other people easily because of her red hair. Actually, Jacob is more like focused on that night rather than on their time together. And together they went to celebrate their 20th anniversary in Belgium, and that was the exact place when they met each other first time. So this is like supposed to be only the two of them, but Mia is already in Belgium. She found out that they are going there, and she just went to Belgium to spend some time there with these people. And at some point it's like more of a fantasy. I don't think if someone is so like willing to go to the other country just to go and find your coworkers and to hook up with them, seems to be way more like fiction for me. Just I don't think in real life something like this would happen, because just to prioritize this possibility, this like opportunity to hook up with your coworkers and to go to another country is just way too excessive for me. I mean, like Mia, she can have other people who similar to this situation, like other families, other couples, to hook up with easily. She can go and do that in England, in Norway, in Belgium, wherever, like any country she chooses. There would be that type of couple who is struggling with their sexual life or something like this. But for this TV show, they went too far with this idea. I mean, like that she is really following them to Belgium, to another country, just to hook up. It's way too excessive. But they did it for a specific purpose, actually, because when you wait too long, the longer you wait, the more like that prize wanted. Like if you go even to another country to get that prize, it will be even more probably enjoyable, because now you just done so much to get this, and once you got that, it would be way more like, fulfilling your desires. I mean, like, in the first place, it's fulfilling Charlotte's and Jacob's dreams about, breaking this traditional, like, marriage, this traditional sexual life, and to bring someone else to show how you can just, shake up something, and how you just to stir things up to make it really alive. And season 2 actually is like really different from season 1, not only because the cast is completely different and the like plot, the idea, the concept is still the same, but characters, they are different and intentions different. Season 1 wasn't really that complicated in terms of the ambitious of like main character, like Mia. She has definitely way more past to work with, and we will see in next episodes. But that was just part 1, let's say, of this The Couple Next Door season 2 stream, because I have still 3 episodes to watch, and when I've done it, I can do another stream about this TV show. But thank you for watching this part 1, and see you later with another part. Thank you. Goodbye.